Good morning, everyone, and welcome to my channel. This is Lori-Lynn, Spirit Within Us, and I'm here to bring you messages and guidance from Spirit. My messages are intuitively based. I use the cards to help me to sort through what I'm hearing from Spirit. And so whatever Spirit wants to be said to the pile that you've chosen, Spirit will say. And so I have 3 piles: the orange calcite, crystal, and the black tourmaline. So if you need to pause and choose a pile, or just choose 1, 2, or 3, whatever works. All I know is that whatever message is meant for you to hear, you will hear. So I'm going to start with the first pile, which is the orange calcite. And the first 3 cards that come up are the 5 of Wands, the 4 of Cups, and the 4 of Wands. So that in itself tells me quite a bit in regards to, this deck is in regards to a relationship that really needs to be, both parties need to look differently at what's going on. The male masculine side is really working on dealing with, trying to fight their ego, perhaps an ego of not feeling good enough. It could be not having accomplished enough, but this male energy needs to work on themselves to see that it really comes from within themselves, and that they have come, and to step outside that ego, because it's the ego that's putting a halt on the relationship. And the feminine side is having really, this 4 of Cups in the Mystic Tarot is a card about people that are talking to the feminine personality in this relationship and giving them their advice. And so to see that advice is good, but you still have to do for yourself, from yourself, from the heart. And so what the feminine side is needing to learn is to really shut out, and to, with the back as being the calm waters, to really go within, as opposed to continually listening to, and sometimes there are past messages also that come into play here, but it's really, people will give advice, but it's always based on their experiences. And so for you is that you have to look at your own experiences and decide what you want. So you have to, even when people are talking to you, take what's necessary and throw away the rest. Again, I know this has to do with relationship, because I'm seeing somebody making a change and moving forward. There is, Spirit is working on both sides here. That's what I'm seeing. The Spirit is working on both sides, the feminine side and the masculine side. And the feminine side really has come a long way, has calmed those waters. And the male side is almost there. They've accomplished the things that they wanted to. So from that place, they will be celebrated. And what they need to do at this point is to start making decisions and taking the action. There's more to just making the decision. You have to take action. And so there is a celebration at that point. And a newness. Wow. Okay. So the card that clarifies the 5 of Wands, of defeating the ego or moving past the ego, is the card of Spark. This person has a lot of personality. This person has a lot of gifts. They also have a lot of love to give, but there's also a point where they may have been hurt. And so this ego comes from a place of being hurt, and they have to find that spark within themselves to be able to fill up that cup of love, of offering to another. That spark comes from within themselves, and it doesn't come from the ego. It comes from the heart. So it's really important for them to learn to know that the spark is within them, and it's not something outside of themselves. And so with the 4 cups of the people that are talking around the feminine side, and it's the card of into the unknown. So sometimes that's what we have to do, is we have to just take a chance. We don't have to know the answer. And in a world right now where nothing is known at this point, this is about the female side just taking chances and doing from a place of faith, just pure faith. You don't have to see the end result. You just need to take the steps forward. So step into the unknown, and then it's almost like stop the chatter and just make the step, make the movement forward. And the card that clarifies the 4 of Wands, and it's the card of the wishing well. And so that means, again, it says it's very similar with the 4 of Wands, and what you've asked for, what you need, what you most want, is you really need to be clear on that, and to those wishes that you're really wanting will come true, they don't just come true. Wishes are manifested. They're brought forward through intention and thought. So allowing spirit to help you, but your wishes and dreams are in the process of coming true. And let's see what else. What is the biggest block? Oh, so for the male side, the biggest block at this time, it's the 10 of Cups. And this relationship is something that they truly, truly want. Something they've wanted for a long time. And so once they've realized it, that it actually comes through themselves, because I'm thinking that you've put in a lot of effort. The feminine side has put in a lot of effort towards this relationship, and they're just getting it, what their role is. And so to move themselves forward, and to why they're so fearful of a relationship. And it has to do with past hurts. They don't want to be hurt. And that could have started out as in childhood, just in the way that they saw themselves. And then as they got older, they may have been very hurt through a relationship. And so what they truly want is that marriage, moving forward. They want a relationship that's built on love and comfort and security. And so because they question themselves, it's that ego that questions themselves whether or not they can do that. That's their lesson to learn. And so allowing them to learn that of their own. Well, interestingly enough, is on the feminine side is the 6 of Cups. So again, this is joy, happiness, a relationship, and that all the cups are full. And so it's a joyful harmony. And this is a very playful time. This person, that the male counterpart, is someone you may have known from the past, that may have just come forward into your life again. You may have known for a long time, or in another lifetime, but it's a very familiar relationship, and there's just such a commitment. There's a knowing together, and there really is a sense of joy and happiness together. You both see the same thing. And you're both being very stubborn or being very in your head, I would say. Because the final card is the Prince of Swords. And the Prince of Swords sometimes thinks too much. So what you've learned is that is to make the decisions, but not from an intellectual standpoint per se. It's from a standpoint of feelings and emotions and clarity, rather than this would be the smartest move, or however they're thinking of it. It's to be really clear on what it is that you want, what the relationship needs, and how to come together within that relationship. And so we will pick 3 more to say, how can we come tune into this relationship? It's truly divinely inspired. Okay, in the male position is the card of the journeyer. So this person has come a long way. And so coming a long way is to just understanding more about life. And they may not have had that spark. They may not have really known how to thrive. But since they've met you, they're learning all of these things. So it's almost like it's new to them. And so they've had to come out of that comfort zone, that place that's ego-based, and see that this is all part of the journey, their journey in this lifetime. On the female side is the ancestor of tribes. And so the awareness here is that the feminine side knows that this is a relationship that is one that is meant to be, that one that is necessary, one that is within the same soul family, soulmate, or twin flames, but a relationship that is really one to come together, and it brings a lot of unity. And so I said before that I do believe this relationship is divinely guided, and it's true that the ancestors of guidance are here to bring you together, to make sure that in this lifetime you two have the knowledge, the strength, the intellect, the power and the courage, most of all the love that's needed to bring this relationship together. So there is going to be assistance from Spirit to bring you together. And the final card that I'll pick is the intention card. And what intention at this point is going to help you through this? I don't think I can. Wow. Bonds of love. Sappho, Greek goddess and famed patron of same-sex love. Sappho dwells on the Isle of Lesbos, writing poetry that is meant to be sung and accompanied by a lyre. Her magic is sensual, full-bodied love that includes stimulation. Who or what are you infatuated with? And so she's asking you to know what your thoughts are, what you really want to bring clarity into a relationship. So write a letter to bring clarity to any situation, one that you would send to a potential lover, or to burn as an offering to release one from love's pain. So what she's asking is to set the intention to become really clear of what you want in a relationship, all the things that are really important, that are truly important to you and for you, and become really clear on what that is. Just because it's Sappho, it says it's same-sexed. It doesn't mean it's a same-sex relationship. It's just a matter of, and it could be. It could very well be. But this is universal, so it's about finding that true love. And with that intention, the male role is to start living life moment to moment, rather than trying to be somewhere, to get somewhere, to want to be somewhere, to need to be somewhere, but just to live in this moment, right here, right now. The feminine side is that celebration, that celebration of mind, body, heart, and may have come from a place of a slump, perhaps. This is a 3 of Cups. And so if that does come from a place of slump, to really be the party that you want to, join. I'm beginning to think with this card, because of the same-sex love, it's more of a realization of what your needs are, and to, at this time, just to continue on in that party state, that state of joyfulness, reunion, joy, happiness. And so the final card is the card of schizophrenia. And what this card means is that you're holding on to either the past, afraid to move forward, and that's probably because of the intellectual basis of that. And so with this card, either it's sometimes you want this, sometimes you want that. It's a fear that keeps you stuck in that place. And so the card always says, let go. Just let go and fall. And your heart will beat so fast that you'll know which way to choose or how to choose. Okay, I hope some of the messages, or one of the messages, was helpful to anyone that chose this pile. And I'll move on to the next pile. Okay, pile number 2, clear calcite. Where are we at? Oh, so we come out really quickly. It's easy. Okay, now instantly I get this feeling that this relationship is in regards to a friend, or somebody that you're close to, and rather than a romantic relationship, this has to do with friends. And there's been some deception within the relationship, and are constantly on guard or thinking about. And so it's a major lesson for you in this pile to come back to home, I guess to say, and that home place is within your heart, and to start seeing beyond, say, the illusions, or see beyond the deceptions, what you aren't or weren't able to see, what you were blocking to see. You didn't want to see it, and stop back and really understand where all the energies, all the emotions are coming from. to become clear on what your role is and what other roles are. What transpired within this relationship was that somebody took, it's almost like they went too fast. And in doing so, they didn't really have a plan at all. And so made some decisions that really were not the best decisions to make. And so from that place, it's perhaps that you, when they were making those decisions, you were quite aware that decisions weren't good ones, but you were allowing them to. And so there is a manner, a space within yourself that needs to take some sort of accountability, and to really take note of your emotions, and emotions that are tied to probably not to what's been going on, but as a result. And as you move forward, it's really almost letting go of the past and all the things that have gone on, just letting all that go, because there's no use crying over spilt milk. And so start making decisions that are truthful and honest, and be open and be the truth that you want to see in other people. And so you're beginning to see the truth, but let bygones be bygones. That's the past, and moving forward. Wow. Okay, so clarifying cards. The first card is the Sacred Pool. And so the Sacred Pool comes up in understanding that our connection with the divine energy, with God, with the Creator, and connected down to the earth. And it's understanding where you get your motivation, your ideas, and it's to continually fill up from that sacred place within yourself that is aligned, that's there for you to draw from. And so always find that place, to find the space, whether it's within yourself or going out to, or within your home or going out elsewhere. And there is a sacred space that is within our heart. And there is a choice that's had to be made at this time. And that gets to be your choice. And the interesting thing is that neither choice is the right choice or the wrong choice. It's just a choice that you need to make. And if it's with this other person, it's just, they're going to lead to completely different places. But both choices are okay. Just make the choice. What I said about home before. And so there is a sense of knowing what home means to you, what makes you feel comfortable, comfortable within your own body, within your own soul, comfortable within what's important to you, and knowing that to always protect that place. Okay, the next cards are, decision again. You definitely have a decision to make. Okay, so the first card is that of goals. And so I think with the with the card of the moon and then the sacred pool as knowing that there's a lot available to you. And so you need to define what your true goals are. And perhaps this other person needs to define what their true goals are as well. And set a goal, write it down, and release the outcome. Small steps make a big difference. So decide what your goals are. And from goals, then we always come back to small goals. And each step we take should always take us forward to that goal. The next card is, well, we had making a choice, and now is decisions. Honor your top priorities. If it's not an absolute yes, then it's a no. So it's up to you to make a decision, the decision that you need to make. This is speaking very, very clear from a place. This is the Queen of Swords, speaking very clearly from a place of knowing that you want. And once you've made this choice that feels so comfortable, that feels so right, it feels so much like home, it's time to step into the light and share your gifts and talents with the world. And so to dance, to do whatever that is, it's a card of just offering the world what it is that you best are able to. So this may be in a way that you are opening up to more and more people and allowing more people to share your gifts, share in your gifts. Okay, the 3 cards from the Shaman's deck, and the first is the Spirit of Love. And so your goals, your spark, moving past the deceit or the unsurety is a spirit of love. And so you're going to end up in this place of love, of clarity, of knowing. And as you're making this choice, so where prior to was a decision that was made, an action taken that probably wasn't the best. And so there may be a little bit of fear based on making decisions, but the decisions have to be made. But they have to be made. There's a difference between knowledge and wisdom. And this place that the decision is made is from a deep wisdom within. And the final card, the Spirit of Family, we're going back to home. We're going back to what makes you feel comfortable, what makes you feel alive, and what makes you feel joyful. And that's what, wherever, with this relationship with this person, maybe it's run its course. And that's a decision that you get to make. And so make that decision. It may change in years from now, but for right now, you just make that decision and know that the decision is a right decision and that it's a place that you feel comfortable with, so that you don't make a decision and then hold it against the person, but make a decision and sit well with it within your heart. Okay. So there seems to be a matter of control within here. And so in trying so hard to control the situation and control, I believe it's this person that was doing that, was trying to control so much. And that's because they felt very out of control. And so the harder you try to control something, the less control you have over it. And then I believe on your side, there's this intensity that just became, for them, it seemed to set them on a pathway of making decisions, of just moving forward with just this passion, but it just wasn't always on target. And the avoidance was sorrow. And so they have a part of their past life, this lifetime, but in the past, years ago, there's some sorrow that they need to look at to understand why they have had to control this, why they keep trying to control it. They need to let go of that. And so when they move forward, you're not moving forward from situations or experience in the past, you're moving forward from experiences that you want right now. And so it's releasing the sorrow and coming back to a place of peace and wisdom. That's what sorrow is always to teach us, is peace and wisdom. Okay, so that's the second pile. So many decks. Sometimes it's... Okay, so for the last deck, set of cards, it's the black tourmaline. I'm going to start with a different pile, and I'm going to start with the shaman's deck. Let's see where this one's about. Somebody's having a decision that's causing a lot of anxiety within themselves. Within this third reading, it's just causing anxiety. And, okay, conflict and anxiety. Makes sense? Okay, so to be real within this reading, the first card that comes up is the Hunter of Conflict. So that does recognize anxiety that's going on. And the Hunter of Conflict isn't somebody that looks for conflict for you. They look forward and they see where conflict may be, and they're trying to assist you and moving forward outside of the conflict. And just give me a second. It's some sort of, there is a clarity that's coming from this conflict. And I don't think it's even that big of a conflict, but it's being made out bigger than it actually is. And just because of this white here that I'm seeing in here, and so there is a purity that's really, they both need to look at, both sides need to look at to see the realization and to follow that pathway rather than one of, they have to look within themselves. There's two people that need to look within themselves rather than at each other. Okay, and so this, what's happening within the family, or it's the ancestor of tribes. So this, there is a connection and a soul connection with this person or with these people, and that soul connection, as part of it is that it's healing. There's a healing aspect of it. And if that healing aspect says you need to let go at this time, and that letting go needs to be one where you can grow, that you can find that place of quiet, that you can really look deep within yourselves, because the next card that follows is the Spirit of Nurture, and there's a side of yourself that really needs to nurture who you are. You needs to nurture what your goals are, what you really want at this time. And so to nurture that, nurture yourself, nurture the child within. And okay, which comes from the Hunter of Conflict, and that's being with discomfort. And so what's necessary, so I do believe this sort of rift that's going on, and it could even be just within yourself, but really what this card talks about is to seek your soul essence, the clarity, the purity, and to illuminate, to be within that discomfort, to find out and discover where it's coming from and what's transpiring. And so to come out of it, to release it, bless it. But sometimes we have to be in a situation that is just not that comfortable to move us forward. Otherwise, we stay exactly where we're at. We don't move forward. And it's not always. Sometimes decisions, they're not always based on that sense. But this discomfort is moving you forward to love yourself. This is a blessing that you can give yourself, and the gift of your own presence. So it's really getting to know yourself, to know your gifts, to know your inspiration, to know who you are, to know how to move forward. So you've had to be put in this place of discomfort in order to recognize that. And I'm sensing that this has to do with several situations from the past, or somehow that you have gifts that others wish they had, and gifts that make you uncomfortable, only because it's the recognition that gifts are, everybody has their own gift, and this is your gift. These are your gifts, and that if somebody is envious of what your gifts are, that's their journey, that's their path. But you've had to be within this discomfort to really come outside of that, and so that you can love from the inside and not from external circumstances. Wow. And the final card within this group is the path awareness. And so this discomfort, this learning to love yourself, really creates that spark within that self, within yourself, that knowing that you are on the right path, that you're being guided either back to or to, I think part of what's happened is the situation that you've been in has pushed you into this place of discomfort, to learn to love yourself from the inside. That was the basis of the relationship with the people, and that there is a familiarity because these are from your soul family, but their job is to guide you back to the right path for you and your central purpose. So, and knowing what that central purpose is and moving forward, in your own light and not the light of another. Okay, Pentacles, Pentacles, Pentacles. And the Six of Cups. Okay, so what you've been learning, and it's been perhaps slow lessons, because Pentacles are the slowest moving, but it's balancing your emotions with your needs, and then being able to stand tall within those needs, stand tall within the calmness, knowing, it's a knowing. This is that sense of knowing that you are where you're supposed to be. And it's been that part of the journey that's been really, really important for you, is to know that you are on the right path, and to see that somewhere along the lines that it may have been alluded to, that, you know, having money, having things, for you translated into people that were being greedy. Well, the truth is they're not all greedy, and we need to make a living. But there's a sense of of you now coming to different terms with what does prosperity mean to me. And so again, writing it out, knowing exactly what is prosperity, and you being very confident with that, and confident with sharing your gifts, with sharing who you are, as you become this person that aligns with another. So I think this is about you putting to rest a past relationship. And it could even be a separation from family, but you had to be in that area, and you had to learn to commit and learn how to sustain yourself, how to become strong and financially secure within your own right. You're learning a lot about money at this time, and so you'll be able to understand that really you get to hold the key to whatever it is that you want, and so to put it out there and become. You already are. And the last card is the card of the Six of Cups, which is to do with nostalgia, and to know that it's kind of the card of you kiss so many toads, and then there's the prince. And so you have had relationships that perhaps were not the best relationship. One you just recently perhaps have left, but it seems that a lot of the relationships of the past have really left you dry. And so there's a bit of a fear, because you're faced with a new relationship, a new partnership with somebody, that the fear is just that you don't want that to leave you dry as well. And so I don't believe that it will. I believe that it's to make you realize and understand that the cup is ever flowing and continues, and that you needed to learn from all the relationships of the past to bring you forward into this relationship. So those relationships taught you what was necessary for you. Okay, so whatever relationship that you were in, whether it was one with a friend or whoever, it all is meant to teach you a very similar lesson, and that's stability. To the Four of Discs now, and it's understanding that money is the mind, body, heart, spirit. It's a balancing of all energies. And again, seeing that prosperity means prosperous with money, prosperous within, within gratitude, within love, within all aspects of our lives, doing what we love, doing what we want. Because truthfully, for yourself, and what you want so much is simply to be happy. And so seeing that there's so much that surrounds you, that there is somebody there that is coming, either if they've been slow in moving it from another time, but because the other card was the Six, which could be someone from your past is now coming forward to express their love to you. And this card of happiness here is that happiness that you truly want, is the happiness that is coming towards you. I'm just going to pick one of these cards. The card of wisdom comes up. And so that's using your wisdom. That's using you've gained during this time. It's almost a time of contemplation for you, a time of going within, a time of having to live with that discomfort, to love yourself from the inside, breaking old patterns, breaking old limitations, breaking a lot of old, yep, there we are, the Lovers. Okay, so, but it's breaking outside of that shell, or breaking outside of that box that you've put yourself into, and that's through a wisdom, and you've gained so much wisdom. So it's wisdom that will carry you forward. So you have learned a lot, and on the other side, oh, that doesn't go. So now we're back to this control. Let go of the need to control. Trust in the wisdom of a divine plan. And so knowing that Spirit is with you, and there always is a divine plan. And so sometimes we just need to, we can set a goal, which is great, but to get to A to Z, there's usually small goals in between and along the way. If we've learned to be wise, then we'll just allow and know that whatever has transpired, what's transpiring right now, is meant to be, to take you along that pathway. And the card of Lovers comes up first of all, and so this relationship, this person that is coming towards, I'm going to say coming back towards you from a new place of learning, of learning to love themselves. They have this cup to offer you, and they can now see things from a different perspective, and seeing that you are their partner, soulmate, whatever somebody calls it, but you are their partner, and they will express themselves to you. And that's coming fairly soon. Okay. So this has all come to this place of being very conscious rather than just unconscious or subconscious. So often our subconscious leads us. And so in regards to the wisdom card, it's not allowing the fear to lead us. It's allowing for our intuition and our wisdom and our knowing, that sense of knowing, to lead us, to guide us. And this sense of consciousness will just know, perhaps it's not, may not be the right day, or this hour might not be the right hour, but this relationship is true, and it's going to be offered to you, and that that sense of consciousness. This person has been seeking and searching to express themselves. They don't know how to. They felt locked out. They felt perhaps not good enough, or whatever their feelings are, that they had to do more, that they had to be more. And so they kind of pushed themselves on the outside, but they're ready now to unlock that. And that's the key within that, is to unlock those that door. And so just two cards from the Archangel of, first one's Archangel of Michael, which is crystal clear intentions. And so this goes back to consciousness and about discovering and making choices, and about living with that discomfort. Be clear about what you want, what you desire, and focus upon that with unwavering strength and faith. And Archangel Michael will assist you with that. So just call upon him and ask him to come and help you to be very clear on what it is that you want. And the second card is Peace, and it's Archangel Shamuel. And it says, peace comes from remembering that only love is real. and there's truth in that. Everything comes from either a secure state of love or a fear state of love. So it's really when we're in discomfort, that's typically a fear state that pushes us through to understanding situation differently, to see a situation differently, so that we can open up to this stability, to this relationship that truly is meant to be within our life at this time. It's two people coming together that really is going to mold. It's almost like the card of completion, that you can look into one another's eyes and it just feels so familiar, so right. And it's one that is filled with peacefulness and passion, and it's going to be offered to you soon. And so that's it for the reading. And I do hope some of this made sense to you. Some of it resonated within you. Time flows. I wish you the best along today. Namaste, much love and blessings. Lori-Lynn.